On this day in history, October 31st, the Kaaba catches fire and is burned down during the Siege of Mecca on October 31st, 683. This devastating event happens as a result of the intense battle in the city. Reconstruction of the Kaaba follows soon after, highlighting its importance to the Islamic faith. Abbasid Caliph al-Muqtadir is killed on October 31, 932, while fighting forces led by General Mu'izz al-Muzaffar. His brother al-Qahir is quickly chosen to succeed him. This power struggle reveals ongoing tensions within the Abbasid Caliphate. Martin Luther, on October 31, 1517, nails his 95 Theses to the door of Wittenberg's castle church, challenging the Catholic Church's practices. This act ignites the Protestant Reformation across Europe. Luther's bold statements mark a pivotal moment in religious history. Leiden University Library officially opens on October 31, 1587, after being founded in 1575. This institution becomes a center for academic learning in the Netherlands. Its resources attract scholars and researchers from across Europe. Emperor Agustín de Iturbide attempts to dissolve Mexico's Congress on October 31, 1822, seeking to consolidate his power. This controversial move stirs unrest in the newly established Mexican Empire. His actions lead to heightened tensions and opposition. The New Zealand Wars resume as British forces under General Duncan Cameron invade the Waikato region on October 31, 1863. This invasion intensifies conflicts with Maori groups resisting British control. The struggle highlights the ongoing battle for sovereignty and land. Nevada becomes the 36th U.S. state on October 31, 1864, admitted just days before the presidential election. Its statehood provides Abraham Lincoln with additional support during a critical time. The decision cements Nevada's role in the Union during the Civil War. The Lincoln Highway is dedicated on October 31, 1913, becoming the first transcontinental automobile route in the United States. Spanning coast to coast, it marks a significant milestone in American transportation. This achievement paves the way for the future of highways. The Indianapolis streetcar strike erupts into riots as workers demand better wages and conditions on October 31, 1913. The violent clashes underscore tensions between labor and industry in the early 20th century. The strike draws national attention to workers' rights. The Battle of Beersheba on October 31, 1917, witnesses the last successful cavalry charge in history by the Australian Light Horse. The victory allows Allied forces to advance in the Sinai and Palestine campaign. This moment becomes a legendary event in military history. Hungary gains full independence on October 31, 1918, as the Astor Revolution ends the Austro-Hungarian Compromise of 1867. This marks Hungary's transition into a sovereign state after the fall of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The change profoundly impacts Central European politics. Benito Mussolini is appointed as Prime Minister of Italy on October 31, 1922, marking the rise of fascist rule. Mussolini's leadership introduces authoritarian policies and a shift toward nationalism. His appointment signals a significant turn in Italy's political landscape. World Savings Day is proclaimed in Milan on October 31, 1924, during the First International Savings Bank Congress. The event promotes the importance of saving for future financial security. It becomes an annual event celebrated by financial institutions worldwide. After 14 years, the monumental Mount Rushmore is completed on October 31, 1941, depicting 4 U.S. presidents. The sculpture becomes an iconic symbol of American history and ideals. Its creation reflects the nation's fascination with historical legacy. The USS Reuben James is torpedoed by a German U-boat on October 31, 1941, marking the first U.S. Navy loss in World War II. Over 100 sailors are killed, stirring outrage in the United States. This incident brings the U.S. closer to involvement in the global conflict. Joseph Stalin's body is removed from Lenin's mausoleum in Moscow on October 31, 1961, as the Soviet Union distances itself from his legacy. The act signifies a major shift in Soviet policies under Nikita Khrushchev. This removal reflects the nation's desire for de-Stalinization. U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson announces a halt to bombing in North Vietnam on October 31, 1968. This decision is made to encourage progress in the Paris peace talks. The move aims to de-escalate the Vietnam War, though conflict continues. Yachtsman Jesse Martin returns to Melbourne on October 31, 1999, after completing a solo, non-stop circumnavigation of the world. His 11-month journey makes him the youngest person to achieve this feat. Martin's adventure captures international admiration and record-breaking acclaim. Soyuz TM-31 launches with the first resident crew for the International Space Station on October 31, 2000. This mission marks the start of continuous human presence in space. The ISS becomes a landmark in global space collaboration. A federal grand jury in Houston indicts former Enron CFO Andrew Fastow on 78 counts related to the company's collapse on October 31, 2002. The charges reveal widespread corruption within Enron. This scandal prompts major changes in corporate accountability and financial regulations. The world population reaches 7 billion on October 31, 2011, a milestone acknowledged by the United Nations as the Day of 7 Billion. The occasion highlights global challenges in population growth and resource management. It sparks discussions on sustainable development and quality of life. Virgin Galactic's VSS Enterprise suffers a catastrophic crash during a test flight in California on October 31, 2014. The accident leads to heightened safety scrutiny for space tourism ventures. This tragedy is a major setback for the private spaceflight industry. Berlin-Brandenburg Airport opens on October 31, 2020, after nearly a decade of delays due to various issues. The airport's opening becomes symbolic of modern construction and project management challenges. Its inauguration marks the end of a long-awaited public infrastructure project in Germany. Thank you most sincerely for your time and attention. If you found this presentation enlightening, I encourage you to share it with others, express your appreciation with a like, and consider subscribing for future content. I look forward to your company in the next installment.